this program started with the idea that the arts have so much to offer us in terms of creating dialogue and diving into meanings behind the visual and the auditory. And typically, when people go to a gallery, they will spend about 15 seconds looking at a piece and move on. And so this is an attempt to try and dive deeper into the art, the artists, what we bring to art and music when we hear and see, and also create some dialogue.
The first work is by Melanie Harmon, Handsworth Road. I'm going to ask Sue to point to that one there with the bus. Originally from England, Melanie has lived in Arizona since 1987. She works in watercolor and acrylic on paper, and her work can be found in collections in the US, in the United Kingdom, and Australia. The windows in the bus are shaded, so what we see are reflections outside of the bus on the windows, of the town on the bus. The location is a crossroad, and the bus is about to turn. There's a sense of momentum or anticipation between the bus and the empty space in front of it.
And coming from England, it's all in the past for me, a lot of it. So it brings back that nostalgia.
To me, it sounds, and I have a severe hearing loss. To me, it actually sounds better than the original.
The next piece is Christine Kollasch's Home, and that's this piece over here. Christine has been a Phoenix-based artist for over 30 years, from Colorado with a degree in art education, and she's been involved with Free Arts of Arizona for nearly 20 years. In 1997, she established her business, Fine Art and Creative Environments, specializing in fine art, murals, themed environments, and public art. Yet games can mean several things. The dice refer to life as a crapshoot. Sometimes our homes are nourishing, and sometimes not.
And Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey could not be a more peppy song. But just like there's a subtext to the art, there's also a subtext when you put the lyrics to that song.
Well, I love the selection, and I'm going to have to look that up and see if they have that on karaoke. Because I think that would be delightful, and I just love how it does play with the subtext. They're bright and they're cheerful from a distance, and as you get close, they have a lot of underlying meaning to them, and I think it's similar to the way a lot of us live our lives. You look at Facebook, and most of the time it's a lot of happy stuff, and we don't always see the crap that's going on at home.
Joan McGue is an Arizona-based artist, an attorney, and an active member of the local art community, including the Arizona Artists Guild and the Arizona Art Alliance. In this work's texture and intense color, we might read hints of houses and structures here. Structures are densely packed and appear partial or damaged or falling apart, but linked by strands of turquoise. There are bits of windows or hints of windows, but blackened, not transparent, and their densities leaking out of the edges.
Gustav Holst was a composer in England best known for his orchestral piece called The Planets. And just like all jigs, it's in 3 times. The beat is divided into thirds, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But in typical Holst style, you cannot beat all the way through. He changes it. Sometimes he'll take the 3 beat and divide it by 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And so it's a little bit off kilter. The other thing he does in this piece is he layers melodies. And so it's very much a analogy and metaphor for layering in the art. So this is our version of A House of Chaos.
basic structure was kind of like my piece. You know, it's kind of like, you know, like it's got a lot of complexity, and sometimes it seems like it goes off into space. But it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a little more cheery than I would describe it to. But you know, overall, I think it was a good representation.
Thank you. From back here, when I'm looking at this piece, it looks like a teenager's closet.
Before we go to our last piece, I have a special treat. I found out something I did not know about one of my cafe colleagues recently. I found out that it wasn't until high school that Kristen realized that not everybody saw the color red when they heard the note A. And that she is one of about 4% of people who have a condition called synesthesia.
So synesthesia is actually the union of your senses. And everyone in this room, when we're born as synesthetes. And synesthete is a person who has synesthesia. Our brains are wired together when we're born. We actually have our sensory cortex, which combines our 5 senses, and the brains are different areas in our brain are connected. And when we're born, all of our senses are connected. That's why when you see a little toddler, they're exploring their world, they grab something, and what do? They put it in their mouth because they're experiencing everything as one big sense. And as we age and we grow and our brain starts to mature and develop, and because of how we're taught in education, our brain starts to prune and starts to identify, oh, if I see that, it goes to this part of the brain. If I hear that, it goes to that part of the brain. And those connections that we had as a child are pruned, so they're no longer used, but they're still there. So for some people, some of those connections are not pruned. And usually synesthetes will have 1 or 2 areas, or sometimes 3, where they experience something and something else essentially is triggered at the same time. So the most common form of synesthesia is actually to see color with connection to numbers and letters. So that's the most common form. So my whole goal in my dissertation and experiencing synesthesia myself is to help make those connections, to bring those areas that were pruned or no longer used, to bring those connections back so we can have a world where we experience more of our senses in everything that we take in. So.
This piece is by Marnelle North. While some of her works have a place name, this one is about summer and could be anywhere. It's about a feeling, a weather, a heat, a season. This work then is as much about time as space. The orange sky, perhaps sunrise or sunset. Under Summer Sky is about the sky in its most abstract state. Clouds of gray with streaks of other colors against a sunset or sunrise sky and over a distant bit of land and water. All the colors are mixed and not completely flat so that even in their abstraction they convey some depth.
It was a great match because I feel like that when my husband and I are driving in doing road trips, I take a lot of pictures out the window and then I work from them later, and that's kind of what I feel when I'm seeing things like that. It just pleasant, serene, and beautiful. Sometimes dramatic, but yeah, that was great. That was a great choice. Thank you. Thank you.